Hello, welcome to Functional Movement with I Can Hardly Move. So typically we do live classes with groups. I started doing these classes with COVID-19 when I couldn't reach my massage therapy clients, and I wanted to make sure they could move pain-free. Now it's kind of grown from there to many of our friends across the United States and even some in a couple other countries. Unfortunately, not everyone can always make every single class as everyone's getting more back into work or different things are coming up. So we're making sure we're making these classes available now on YouTube. There'll be one new class a week. This week's class is a functional movement class. We will also be doing stretch classes and bar classes as well. This week, the functional movement class is going to focus on balance. Now this is going to be slightly different than our live classes. Our live classes typically last about an hour, and there's a lot of interaction with people and just fun talk. The other difference is that the live classes are an hour or a little over an hour. We're going to keep this a little shorter, so if you are all able, if you're already on our list, if you're at all able to still attend the live classes, I do encourage you to do that. You'll get a little more bang for the buck. You're not really paying for anything, so still, if you can, if you're already on our list. And if not, I hope you enjoy this and it helps you. For your workout today, you're going to need a set of weights, a pillow or one of these boards, a balance board, and also a stretch band. If you don't have any of these, we will be offering alternatives, and we will be making sure that we have movement alternatives that people can do to make sure that it covers a wide range of abilities. All right, go ahead and get your stuff, get some water, and let's get ready to work out. All right, so now we're going to start our warm-up. So the warming up isn't going to be this, crazy, wild thing. We're just going to start warming up with some basic exercises. Walking in place, really pumping the arms, just getting the muscles moving, the blood pumping, really moving those arms forward and back. Move 3 more. And then we're going to come down with jack legs, so low jack legs, so out and step, and then add arrow arms. So the arms are going to come out to the side, but when we come back, we're not just coming level with the shoulders, we're actually pulling them back behind our back while we're doing this low jack. So we're doing a little bit of a dynamic movement where we get to go back and forth. We're going to do one more on each side, and then we're going to come into a squat while moving arms. So the squat, remember, we want our glutes to go straight back. We want our chest to be up. We're going to move our arms up while we're doing this. The other thing you want to keep in mind, we're not letting our back curve out, and our knees, as we come down, our knees are tracking over our feet. Now it's important, whenever you're doing a squat, you don't want your knees to come midline. You want to keep them on top of your feet, and if you're dealing with any type of weight, they could even go out slightly, but never in. Last one here. Now we're going to do a little posture alignment before we work on our muscles. Now we want to start with our feet. The feet is the foundation of how our body moves. So check your feet real quick. If your toes are open at an angle or pointed in, now's the time to turn them forward. In most cases, over 95% of people, our toes should be forward. Now some people, because of extreme sports, may have their toes pointed slightly outward because of how their bones and joints formed as being in sports as children. But most of us, we really want our toes forward. Now the next thing we're going to do is to help get the bottom of the spine where it needs to be. So what we're going to do is just slightly clench the glute muscles. Now this is not a huge movement. We don't want to over tuck the pelvis. Just a slight movement that helps put the sacrum in line, slightly turns it under to help keep the bottom back from overturning or over bending out or from it over tucking. So just a slight contraction. Now with our hands, we've got our shoulders down, that's good. But look at your thumbs. Where are your thumbs? When I first started working on my posture, my thumbs are right here on my thighs. So this is not a good thing. That means your shoulders are rolled forward. So when we're taking our shoulders, we're not doing a shoulder roll. Nope. What we're doing is taking our shoulders and rolling them back so that your thumbs are pointing out to the front or out to the side. So I'll show you from here. We're just pulling your shoulders back. Now we're not overextending, we're just pulling our shoulders back. And then our head. We're so used to bending our head forward, working on things. We don't want to do that. We want to bring our head up so that our head's on top of our shoulders, shoulders are on top of hips, hips on top of knees, knees on tops of toes. Now, we've got a good posture throughout the rest of the day, the rest of the week, the rest of the month, the rest of life. Try to make sure that you're keeping good posture and being cognizant of it whenever possible. This is going to help a lot with injury or to keep it from happening. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a ball. Now my favorite is a large kid's bouncy ball. However, tennis balls work great. You can use a golf ball, any kind of small ball that you have. You can also even use just anything round if you don't have anything like that. So this is going to be a fantastic tool for foot rolling. A lot of times our feet are tight, and whenever you're working out at home, especially with these kind of classes that I do, I want you to go shoeless to allow your feet to be able to move, our muscles in our feet. This is going to go a long way for you. So take the ball, put it on the floor. Now we're going to take our foot. Now this is the ball of the foot, okay? Right where the toes join the foot, those joints, we're going to put our heel on the ground. Our weight's not in the heel. We're going to put the ball of our foot on the ball and just push down slightly. We're spreading the ball of the foot. We're spreading out that joint and really helping it just to relax. We're going there 2 more times. Now take the ball, roll it so that it's just underneath the joint for the big toe. So we're really right at where the arch starts. So we're gonna push down with that toe, right where the arch starts, and then roll the ball towards the middle of the foot and push. Roll that again to the middle of the foot, closer to the outside. Lift up, roll to the outer foot. Now take that ball, roll it back to the arch, just lower than you did before, about a ½ an inch to an inch lower than where we had the ball last time. Roll towards the midline push, outer foot push. Roll the ball back to the arch, slightly lower than we were even last time. Push right there at the arch, middle push, out to the outer edge. Take the ball over, roll towards the arch, push, middle push, outside push. And now we're going to take the ball. We're not going to put it on the heel. We're going to put it right in front of the heel. So what we're helping to relax the foot, but we're also helping to open up the plantar fascia. So many people have so many plantar fascia issues because of how our shoes are nowadays. So my toes are on the floor, but I don't have most of my weight on my toes. I'm going to put my heel down and wiggle back and forth right in front of that heel. Not on the heel, right in front. Now I'm going to roll the ball slightly away from the heels, a little bit closer to toes, just about an inch. Wiggle back and forth. Slightly closer to the toes again. Wiggle back and forth. Just in the ball of foot. wiggle back and forth. And now we'll go ahead and we'll switch sides. So again, we're taking that ball under the ball of the foot, part where the joints of the toes come and meet the foot. We're gonna push to let stretch out, push to let stretch out, and I'm not putting a ton of weight. I'm rocking back and forth so you guys can see my motion for when I'm coming down. This isn't a ton of weight. Do it to where it feels good for you. Now take that ball, again, just beneath where that big toe joint is on the foot. We're going right where the arch starts. My weight's not in my heel, and we're gonna push slightly, then go middle. Push slightly, then go middle. Push slightly, and then roll all the way to the outside. Take that ball, roll it back to the arch, a little closer to the heel than we were before, just a half an inch to an inch lower. Push on that arch, middle of the foot push, middle of the foot push, outside push, and take that ball, back to the arch, push, middle of the foot, push, outside of the foot, push. Now notice I'm touching, well, our mantle. Take your toes now, touch the ground, have the ball right in front of the heel so that we're not on the heel, but we're underneath where that plantar fascia is really dense. Weight's not in the toes, pushing down just a little bit, wiggle back and forth. This is, and again, this is really, really good, especially if any kind of plantar fascia issues. This is gonna help roll it up just a little bit, wiggle back and forth, loosen up those feet. And then judge how far you need to push based on your comfort level. So you may feel that you want to push harder, you may want to push softer. You may be using a tennis ball or ball that's even softer than that, so you'll have to push harder. You may be using a golf ball. If you're using a golf ball, you're not gonna want, so I'm rolling it just on my toes, wiggle back and forth. If you're using a golf ball, you are not going to want to push too hard. Okay, so I'm going to take the ball, I'm going to put it aside so that I don't trip or get on this again. And now what we're going to do is an ankle rolling thing to help us with our ankle and knee mobility. Now for this, I really recommend a wobble board. This is the bomb, okay? This is really, really good for ankle and knee mobility, but I'm going to show you how to do these exercises on a pillow because I know that maybe not everybody has one. On Amazon, you can get them maybe from $20 to $130, so you can get them pretty affordably or super fancy, whatever you would like. But we're going to start off on a pillow, so I'm sure that's what most everybody has. We're going to do both feet down. Okay, so if you're on the board, you're going to go and rotate your feet clockwise 8 times, counterclockwise 8 times, forward and back 8 times total. But for the pillow purposes, we're going to shift our feet to the side. So we're on the right side of both feet. So outer side, inner side, and then you're going to roll to the toes, to the left side, to the heel. So right side, toes, outside heel, right side toes, outside heel, right side toes, outside heel, 2 more, right side toes, outside heel, last one. And now we're going to go the opposite direction, so heels, left side, front, right side, heels. Left, front, right, heels, left, front, right, heels. 2 more, heels, last time around, toes, right, heels. Now we're going to kind of do like a rocking back and forth motion. Again, if you are on a wobble board, just rock back and forth 8 times. So we're going to go back on our heels. I'm holding onto this chair for stability. On your toes. Heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes. 2 more, heels, toes, heels, and toes. All right, so that is not only good for loosening up our ankles and making sure that we're less likely to hurt the tendons or ligaments of the ankles, it's also really good for the knee joints. So that's something, if you're having a problem with your ankles or knees, that you may want to remember for further uses. Now we're going to show you how to stretch out the calves. Now, this is a functional movement class. Most of these are going to be exercise-based things that I'm going to show you. The reason why we want to work on the calves is because they become pretty tight. Now, a tight calf, now notice right now, I'm doing it like a lunge type movement. Now my back leg, I'm putting the heel all the way down. Okay, now I'm going to lean forward. Feel that nice stretch in the calf. Now, being careful that both toes are pointed forward with this stretch. If you go in the stretch and your back leg opens up, that's a sign that you have a tight calf. Turn that foot forward or else you're not going to be able to get a complete stretch. So this stretch, so we've been holding it. We're now going to pulse forward for 8. So what's so important with this is if your calves are tight, it's going to be harder to do things like squats. And we squat all day long, getting up and out of chairs, out and out of bed. When we go potty, you'll take your leg back, switch legs, making sure that both feet are forward, that back leg, the heel is all the way down. Now lean forward and hold. But then the other thing about these calves, if they're very tight, they're actually going to cause you low back pain. So it's really important that we make sure that the whole body is functioning well as a unit. What happens in one part of the body affects another. Now we're going to pulse forward for 8. So it's really interesting what scientists are learning about the fascia through the body. They're bands that connect, fibrous tissues that connect the entire body. 2 more. What happens in one part of the body does not stay in one part of the body. It goes other places. So now we're going to stand up. Now this is one of those times that we're going to get the stretch band. So I'm going to show you. So what we're going to do is this is a stability exercise, but this is also a movement that is going to help you with your feet, making sure your feet are in proper positioning, and that your calves. So this is a really great exercise. So we're going to take a stretch band. What you're going to do is you're going to wrap it around, and so you might want to pause this, a heavy piece of furniture, if you have a pillar, or even in a doorway. So you're going to take this, wrap it around the base, take the band, loop it through the handle, pull it through, and then you'll have a nice little knot, there we go, a nice little loop to go on the leg of a piece of furniture, okay? And then once we put this around our foot, we're simply gonna put your hand through it, pull the band out, then you have a loop to go around your hand or arm, or you can hold the handle. So all kinds of fun things to do with this. If you have a regular, just flat stretch band, you can also just do a little tie and tie it around the bottom. If you don't have a stretch band, don't worry. I'll show you an alternative. I'm gonna shut mine in my door right here. Where we go over this. Okay, so if you do not have a stretch band, go ahead and grab a weight. That's absolutely acceptable. Give myself a little bit more space here. Okay, so if your balance isn't good, hold on to a chair. If your balance is well, then go ahead and try to do this without holding on. If you do need to hold on, only do a light touch. Do not do a heavy touch. So, picking up my leg, I've got the band in the same leg that's standing. I'm going to take that band and I'm going to pivot. And I'm going to pivot. Now this gives us 2 things. This helps us open up our shoulder. Remember we talked about our devices, pulling our shoulders forward, bring our thumbs forward. This is also making the foot have to grip the ground. Bonus for not wearing shoes. 3 more. And this also helps move the calf in a proper position to help the feet and the knees. All right. Now we're going to take this in the other hand, and now I'm going to have to turn away from you, so I'm sorry. So other hand, again, band and same hand as the leg that's standing. And then if you have to hold on to something, do a light touch. I have a pretty heavy band, so I am going to be using this and turn away. And turn away. Again, we're opening up the chest. We're going to do 5 more. Getting those feet working in a proper position so we can lift that foot. 2 more. Using the calf in the right way. This is just so great. So it's a very important exercise. Now, with the weights, you can just do the same thing. So if you were waiting for the weights, you can pause. And you're still getting some of that stability. You're not getting the traction of pulling back and forth, but this is still going to help quite a bit. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go over a squat series, just very, very, very basic. We're going to do this in a way that's really going to help us with our balance. So we're going to go over 4 squats very simply, just to re-go over proper form for a squat to make sure that we're keeping it safe. So toes forward, chest up, glutes back, back flat. We don't want to hunch our back. We don't want herniated or bulging discs. Making sure we keep proper form. Now, making sure our knees are tracking the right way. Now here's our variation. This is our balance movement. We're going to come down, over to the left, up and center. Down, over to the left, up and center. Remembering that when you initiate a movement, the joint that moves first is the one that uses most of the muscle development. So, for example, I'm coming down, over, and up. I'm trying to make sure that my hips move before my glutes do. The last one, shifting over to the left. Now we're going to come down, shift to the right, and up. Down, shift to the right, and up. I'm trying to focus my glutes firing, my legs firing. So if my first movement when I go down is starting to stick my glutes back, my first movement when I start to come up is bringing my glutes in. Last one here. All right. Now we're going to do our next balance exercise is a deadlift. Okay? And what we're going to do is you can hold on if you need to, but if you don't, that's even better. Now, a lot of times I like to do it one-legged because this really helps us with our balance. But especially for some of you, this is your first functional movement class, or it's been a while since you've worked out. We're just going to do both legs down, weight and only one hand. So a proper deadlift, you want to come down, again, the glutes are moving first. My legs, I have a soft bend in them to help protect the knees. I'm not locking my legs. So I have a soft bend, and then my back is flat. I've got my natural curves. I'm not letting it loop out. I'm keeping those natural curves. Now, what's going to happen with that is I'm protecting my back, but I'm getting used to picking things up. Now, when you pick things up, when things fall, we have 2 more after this, and then we're going to switch sides with the weights. When things fall, it's very rare that if you drop a box or a can or a spoon in the kitchen, it's not going to be very likely that you're going to go and pick it up with both hands and pick it up with proper squatting technique. So with this is important because a lot of times we're in the kitchen, again, opposite, so switch your hands, weight in the opposite side, Remember, the glutes are going to go out first, keeping that flat back, knees soft. That back is really important here. So keeping ourselves used to having weight on one hand and switching sides, this is going to help prepare us for real life so that we don't get injured, we don't get hurt in real life. So 3 more. Making sure that movement starts in the hips, keeping that flat back, knees unlocked. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and grab that other weight. Now for this exercise, start with you, make sure you have your proper posture, all right? And now we're going to take our hips, tilt them outside, make sure you're having that flat back. Now you're gonna come slightly down, okay? So we're not going vertical, or I'm sorry, horizontal completely. You're not standing straight up. You're coming, so notice our glutes are back. We've got our natural curve of the spine. And we're gonna pull back. Now notice the elbows, they're not coming up level to the back and down, they're coming above the back. So we're going down, all the way up. I'm not shrugging my shoulders. The movement's coming from my elbow. Now from the front, you can see my elbows are staying close to my side. I'm not going like this. That's a whole nother movement completely. We wanna make sure that we are getting our latissimus dorsi and our serratus muscle. The reason why this is so beneficial is these are important movements or exercises for our shoulder joints and for our serratus muscle. So when you stand up, make sure you stand up with the natural curvature of your spine. We're gonna put the weights aside. I'm gonna grab my stretch band. I'm opening up my door, grabbing that out. So again, the latissimus dorsi, the serratus, they're important for your the shoulder muscles, the shoulder joint. Anytime anyone has rotator cuff injuries, these are muscles that are going to help contribute and help with that. The one-legged pull that we did, or there we go, like that. That was another one that also helped our rotator cuff. So now we're going to do a fun one. We're going to take the band, wrap it around your back, around your waist, okay? And then we're going to take these in our hand, and we're going to do what we're going to call serratus punches. So I'm going to take my hands and roll them. I'm not using the handles because it wouldn't be quite enough length or it's too much length for me. So we're gonna take this out and we're just punching forward. Now this is a really good exercise for getting our serratus involved. The serratus, another thing it does is it helps attach and keep our shoulder blade flat on our back. If your shoulder blade is coming up like it's a wing, then your serratus muscle isn't functioning all the way, and it's allowing that to come up. So making sure that while you're doing this, your tummy is tucked in, so you're helping protect your spine. And last one. All right. Now we're gonna take this, we're gonna put it off to the side because we are done with our bands. We are going to take our weight and we're going to do one more shoulder exercise. So we are focusing on balance, but we are trying to make sure that the whole body is healthy and functioning as a unit. So again, the rotator cuff, common injury, okay? So one thing you can do is take a light to medium weight for a girl, for a man, yeah, again, light to medium for you. So for a girl, anywhere from 1 pound to 7 pounds, depending on your fitness ability. 7 pounds if you're pretty fit. We don't want a whole lot of weight because we're just doing a small movement. We're just opening up the shoulders. So got a 90-degree bend right here. My elbow is into the side. You can see right here, my elbow's not out. It's not even out to here. It's pulled straight in. Got a 90-degree angle. I'm rotating out to the side and back. Side and back. I'll show you from this angle. Out to the side and back. Side and back. We're gonna do 2 more, and then we'll switch sides. I don't wanna focus on both sides at once with this. They're such intricate muscles, we wanna make sure that we're doing very precise movements. So switch hands, making sure we have that 90-degree angle right here, and holding it into the side, rotating out, and back, and out, and back. Again, noticing how close my elbow is to my side. Using a light enough weight. You do not want to go too heavy on this one. 2 more. All right, now we have 1 more exercise series until we move to the floor. So I'm gonna take my weights, put them aside, and I am gonna move my chair off my mat so that I have full use of that for just a moment. Coming up close to the screen. So now we can work on chin tucks. Okay, so chin tucks are like super duper extra crispy important. Remember we talked when we were doing the posture positioning how often our heads are forward, right? Okay, and how bad that is. Okay, so a lot of us, we have all that weight of our head hanging off the end of our spine, and when we do that, sometimes we're staying in that position, we're getting a lot of neck pain, a lot more headaches. So by doing chin tucks, we can help with our headaches. We can help with our body positioning. We can help with our neck pain. This is just like I said, extra crispy important. Okay, so chin tucks. So what you're gonna do is take normal, healthy posture, okay? And we're gonna take the chin and tuck it in, and tuck it in. Now we're not bringing the head back forward. We're keeping that head stable. We're only tucking that jaw, our chin back. Now, we're gonna do 4 more of these. Feel like a chicken, but you know, whatever. This is so good. We're stretching and moving, working the intervertebral muscles. So good, this is so good. If you can do 10 to 20 of these a day, this is gonna have a remarkable difference on headaches and on neck pain. It's so good, I can't even tell you. So our next move we're going to do is we're gonna do chin tucks and turns. So tuck in, turn to the side, come forward, release. Tuck in, turn to the opposite side, forward, and release. We're gonna do 7 of these on both sides, starting now. Tuck in, turn, forward, release. Tuck in, side, forward, release. Tuck in, side, forward, release. Tuck in, side, forward, release. In, side, forward, release. In, side, forward, release. 3 more, each side. Tuck in, side, forward, release. Tuck in, side, forward, release. In, side, forward, release. In, side, forward, release. 1 more, both sides. In, forward, or side, forward, release. In, side, forward, and release. Super good, super awesome exercise. It's gonna help you tremendously. Try to remember to do those. So the next thing that I wanna show you guys to do, you can do on the back of a chair. If you can't come down on your knees, knee replacements, arthritis, whatever, you can do this by holding on the back of a chair, bringing your legs, your feet back, and extending up like this. I'm gonna show you from the floor because we can get a little bit better range of motion, and we're gonna be going to our floor for the rest of the series. So when you come down, remember to come down slowly and safely. So if you need to hold on to something to come down, that's fine. If you need to hold on to your legs and crawl out, just making sure that you're safe. Now, you're coming down on all fours. My hands are under my shoulders. Got a 90-degree angle right here. Now, I'm making sure that my fingers are pointed forward or slightly out, making sure that I'm keeping the joints right here in a good position so that they're not closing in. Now, taking your legs, we're gonna take our front leg first, extend it all the way out, and we're gonna pull it up. Now, one thing I want you to be mindful of, pulling in your tummy, having a straight neutral spine, so we've got our natural curves, and don't open up your hips. When we do this, keep your hips horizontal to the ground. Now, we might be thinking, okay, I'll take this, bend the leg. So we had a pointed foot last. Now we're gonna be taking that heel and push up, tummy in, push up. We're doing 8 of these in each direction. So what is working on the hips and these positionings have to do, take your knee down. So we did 8, now we're gonna take it out to the side. These are fire hydrants. I'll let you see this from the front as well. Taking this, I'm still trying to keep my hips level to the ground. I'm not trying to open them here. Now, hip stability, hip strength is crucial for balance. If you don't have good hip strength, it's gonna be so hard to keep your balance and you're gonna be more likely to fall. Hip strength is critical. Now we're gonna go to the other side. So I've just gotten working my left leg. Now, all fours, hands under shoulders, fingers pointing front or slightly out. 90-degree angle right here with both legs. Now extend that front leg out, or your opposite leg out. Point the toe and bring it up. Remembering to tuck your tummy, but we're keeping that spine straight with our natural curves. Feeling that movement come from the hips, making sure that our hips are not opening up. Our hips are staying neutral to the ground. We have 3 more. Last one. Now take your foot, heel up. Now the heel, now this move right here, remember, tummy in. We're still keeping that neutral spine. Making sure that your leg's not like flopping in different directions. We want it going straight up and down. If you were next to a wall, we want your leg to be going straight up and down as if it was grazing that wall. One more. And now we're gonna do those fire hydrants. Such a fun name. If anyone can think of a different name for that, that'd be great. So we're taking the leg up and out, up and out. And now as high as you can go. Now depending on your activity level, your arthritis level, or your exercise level, last one, you may be able to go pretty high. It may be more difficult. So coming down onto the ground now. This next move I really love. This is a really good one, especially if you have shoulder pain or back pain. Taking our arms, you're going to raise your chest off the ground a little. So this is me laying flat. I'm raising my chest up, getting W arms into I. Stay on the ground. I'll show you what that looks like. W arms into I. W arms into I. We're going to do 8 of these while holding our chest high off the mat. So I and W. I, W, I, W, I, W, I, W. 3 more. We can do this. 2 more. Now I come down. I'm really pinching my shoulder blades together. Now come down. Bring your legs up. You can lay your head on your hands if you wish. Now I'm trying to raise my legs up. The goal is to try to get your thighs off the ground as much as possible. So we're getting the shoulders, back, and low back. These are our core muscles here. We're really working these. Now take your arms, pointing out to making a Y. So, like that. And now we're going to lift our arms, lifting our chest off the ground and our legs off the ground at the same time. And we're gonna do 8 of these. So, you ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Hold for another second. Come on, hold, and release. Now, this next, kind of an exercise, kind of a stretch. This is called the McKenzie method. Take your hands right under your shoulders, and push up. Now as we push up, and I'll show you this from the front as well. So we're pushing up our hips. I'll show you again. The hips stay on the ground. I am not lifting up. I'm not doing a push-up. I'm not doing a plank. You're simply gonna push up, and this is a great stretch. The contraindication for this, if you have spinal stenosis, do not do this stretch. If you have a bulging disc or a herniated disc, this is one of those moves that's gonna bring you tons of relief. You just hold. If you lack the strength to push yourself up like this, you can also stack some pillows in front so that you can lay with the pillow supporting you. All right, now slowly lower, and now we're gonna roll over. Now as we roll over, make sure that you're taking the time to roll over slow and safe. So, because I have so many kids and 3 of them are boys, the name of this kind of cracks me up. We're going to do the dead bug. So, lifting your arms straight up, bringing your legs up. I have a 90-degree angle at my knees. My arms are up. I'm making sure that my back is on the ground. If your back is coming up and you have space between your back and the floor, then you want to try to push your back down in the floor. This will help protect your back. So arms up, knees up, opposite hand, opposite leg are going to go out and up, and out, and up. Now, this is very easy for you. You can even extend your leg out and up, and out, and up. This is important for balance. This is good for your back. This is also good for your brain. Anytime you do an exercise where you're working 2 sides of the body at once, where they have to coordinate, it makes your brain have to communicate more with the opposite side, so it's really good. Tummy in while you're doing this, making sure that back is keeping contact with the ground. 1 more each side. You have 1 more exercise after this with 2 moves associated with it, and then we have a stretch. So now we're going to do an exercise that's good for balance, good for the core, and really good for your back. You're going to make sure your weight is in your heels, not on your toes. You're going to pick up your glutes from the floor, making sure there's a straight line from your shoulders all the way down to your knees, and bring it down. You bring your knees closer so that you're getting more of the glutes, further away to get more of the hamstrings. I'm going to bring it somewhere in the middle. And we're going to do 4 more of these. And again, this is a really good exercise for your back, for stability, for balance. So, so, so good. 1 more, and hold it up here. Now we're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. We're going to go back up in the bridge. Open the knees wide. Close the knees and down. Up. Open knees. Close knees. Down. Up. Open. Close. Down. Up. Open. Close. Down. Up. Open. Close. Down. 3 more. Up. Open. Close. Down. Up. Open. Close. Down. Last 1. Up, open, close, and roll that spine down. Now we're going to do a small stretch. Bring in 1 knee. Hold it there for a moment. Breathe deep. Release. Switch knees. Bring that in. Breathe deep. Release, knee in, hold, switch sides again, last move, one of my favorites. You'll see this one in almost every video. Bent leg. Now my shoulders are flat on the ground. My top leg, the hip, will come up just a little bit. I'm rolling the knees back and forth, hoping to do a small release and stretch in the back. I love doing this in the morning if I wake up and my back is stiff. I'll do this. It's so the bomb. Oh, I love it. It's the bomb diggity. Now I'm going to go forward. That top leg, put the opposite hand on the top of the knee, push down for a count of 10. Feel a nice stretch. Take your hand off, roll your knees to the other side, opposite hand on the top of the knee, push that knee down for 10. Take your knees up, have a nice breath, and enjoy the rest of your day. So next week we'll be releasing a new video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. All right, see you soon. Bye.